High above the slumbering world, in a sky painted with soft streaks of violet and gold, there lived a moon unlike any other. Not the silver moon that rose each night in quiet dignity. Not the crescent moons that curled like smiles. But a moon called Lumira, who shined with all the curiosity of a child and all the energy of a spring morning. Lumira loved to twirl across the sky, scattering her light over mountains, rivers, and sleepy little towns. She twinkled over forests where owls blinked awake, over oceans where waves whispered secrets to the stars, and over deserts where the sand glittered like tiny diamonds. Wherever Lumira glided, the world felt a little brighter, a little safer, a little more alive. But there was one small problem. Lumira never, ever stopped. From the moment she rose until the first pale rays of dawn touched the horizon, she twirled, spun, and twinkled. She polished the stars until they sparkled like polished gemstones. She painted the clouds silver and gold, even in shapes that no cloud had ever dared before. She winked at the foxes, waved to the bears, and hummed little lullabies to children tucked beneath their blankets. "I must shine! I must shine!" Lumira whispered to herself. "The world needs me. I cannot sleep. Sleep is for the earthlings below, not for moons above." And so, night after night, Lumira worked. But the more she twirled, the more she began to feel heavy. Not the heavy of carrying the sky, that she could manage. Not the heavy of being watched by the planets, that was fun. But a different kind of heavy. A soft, sinking, sleepy heavy that tickled the edges of her silver beams. One night, while Lumira was practicing a particularly fancy spiral over the misty mountains, she felt her light flicker for the very first time. "Oh!" she gasped. Did someone turn down my brightness?" She wobbled in place. The stars around her twinkled with concern. "Lumira," said Oriones, a kindly old star with a twinkle that seemed to hum. "Why do you shine so hard, dear moon?" "I must shine," Lumira replied, puffing out her glowing cheeks. "The world depends on me. The children, the animals, the flowers. I cannot dim for even a second." Oriones twinkled more softly, gently. "Even the sun rests, little moon. Even the mountains sit quietly sometimes. Even the oceans have calm tides. Perhaps you need something too." Lumira tilted, unsure. "Need what?" "Rest. A pause. A nap," Oriones said simply. "A nap?" Lumira echoed. Her beams wavered. "But if I sleep, who will shine for the world? Who will guide the foxes home? Who will make the lakes sparkle like silver mirrors?" "The world will still glow," Oriones replied. "But perhaps it will shine brighter if you take a moment to rest." Lumira shivered. Resting sounded strange. Scary even. She had never stopped. She had never paused. The very thought of letting herself go dim felt like forgetting who she was. I do not know how to stop," Lumira whispered. "Then let me teach you," Oriones said, twinkling brighter, but not blindingly so. "Come closer. Watch the stars. Feel the sky. Breathe in the quiet." Lumira drifted closer to Oriones, her glow uneven and shaky. Around them, the other stars shimmered in a gentle hush, like tiny night lights in a vast dark room. "Close your eyes," Oriones instructed. "Just for a moment. Not forever. Just enough to remember your light." Lumira blinked. She had never closed her eyes while flying. She had never paused. But something in Oriones' calm shimmer invited her to try. She hesitated. And then she did. The sky softened around her. The wind hushed. The mountains paused in their silent vigil. The rivers slowed to gentle whispers. The world felt still. And Lumira felt lighter. For the first time, she noticed the soft sparkle of distant galaxies, the slow dance of tiny meteors, the gentle rhythm of the clouds drifting like whispers. Her glow, instead of straining and flickering, began to hum quietly from within. A tender, warm glow that came not from motion or twirling, but from rest itself. I feel," Lumira murmured. "Different. Yes. Orione said. You shine brightest when you pause. Not because you are dim, but because you are whole. Lumira took a deep, invisible breath. She drifted slowly, slowly, like a leaf in a midnight breeze. She let the quiet wrap around her like a blanket. She let herself pause, just a little, and discovered she had not disappeared. She had not failed. She had simply rested. And oh! The glow that returned! Not frantic, not hurried, not nervous, but steady, deep, and warm. It filled the sky like a gentle wave. I think I understand, Lumira whispered. I do not have to shine all at once. I can pause, and then shine, even brighter. Yes, Orione said, a tiny beam of pride in his shimmer. Even the brightest lights must rest. Even the most tireless spirits need quiet moments to remember themselves. Lumira wobbled slightly, then laughed, a soft, musical laugh that rippled across the sky. A nap! Who knew a nap could make me sparkle so? From that night on, Lumira learned to pause. She discovered small moments of rest, a slow spin around the clouds, a gentle drift over a quiet forest, a soft hum while she watched the stars twinkle in friendship. She rested without guilt, without fear, knowing that her glow was not measured in constant motion, but in the fullness of her light. The animals noticed, first the foxes. They paused in their hunts to glance up at her, seeing her calm, warm, steady glow. The children in villages below whispered, "The moon feels happy tonight. She's glowing like never before." The rivers chuckled softly under the silver light. Even the mountains seemed to lean closer, as if to listen. One evening, a young owl named Tiver perched on a branch, blinking at her. "Lumira," he asked, his little voice soft and hoarse from learning to hoot, "why do you shine like that?" "It's different." Lumira twinkled warmly at him. "Because, little Tiver, I have learned to rest. I shine brightest when I pause." Tiver blinked slowly. "Rest makes you brighter?" Lumira nodded. "Yes. Even moons need quiet. Even moons need naps. When I pause, I remember myself, and my glow becomes gentle, steady, and true." Tiver's tiny wings fluttered. Maybe I should try resting too." "That's right," Lumira said, smiling. "Rest does not make you weak. It makes you shine." And so it went. Night by night, Lumira twinkled with a warmth that wrapped around the earth like a soft blanket. She still danced across the sky, but she learned to twirl slowly, to drift gently, to pause in quiet moments of reflection. She hummed her lullabies more softly now, letting the world feel the calm that had filled her heart. She found that the pauses made everything more beautiful. A cloud looked softer. A lake glimmered with gentler ripples. Even the children seemed to dream sweeter dreams beneath her light. One night, as she rested above a sleepy valley, she heard Orione's whisper again. "You see, little moon," he said, "your light was never measured in hurry or motion. It was always inside you, waiting for quiet moments to shine fully." Lumira glowed a little brighter, her beams warm and steady. "I understand," she said. "I understand now. I can shine and rest. I can glow and pause. I can twirl and float. And I can always return to myself." The stars around her twinkled in agreement. The night breathed in a deep, calm sigh. Even the wind paused, curious and gentle, brushing her silver glow like soft fingertips. From that night on, Lumira became known not only for her light but for her peace. She became a moon who reminded everyone that pauses are not for the lazy, but for the brave. That rest is not for the small, but for the wise. That even the brightest souls need quiet moments to remember their glow. And every night, when children gazed up from their windows and whispered goodnight to the moon, they noticed a difference. Her glow was not frantic. Her light was not hurried. Her shimmer was tender, calm, and alive with joy. Some nights, Lumira would drift low over the mountains, barely moving, as if she were listening to the earth breathe. Other nights, she would swirl slowly over rivers, letting her reflection ripple lazily across the water. She learned that moments of stillness could be adventures too, adventures of the heart, the mind, and the soul. And the world below? The world below began to understand, little by little. Children hugged their blankets a little tighter, whispered their dreams a little slower, and listened to the hush of the night a little more deeply. Animals paused to look at the moon and then at each other, feeling a gentle calm settle into their bones. Even the wind learned to sigh softly. Lumira had discovered the secret. A light that never rests is fragile. But a light that learns to pause, to breathe, to dream quietly, it glows forever. And so, above the quiet world, amidst the twinkling stars and the soft whisper of clouds, Lumira, the moon who once feared stillness, now knew something even more magical than shining. She knew the wonder of pausing, the power of rest, the quiet brilliance of simply being. And whenever she felt the old urge to twirl endlessly, she remembered Orionese's gentle words. Even the brightest lights must rest. Even the most tireless spirits need quiet moments to remember themselves. With a soft chuckle, Lumira would stretch her silver beams, curl into a gentle arc, and drift, slowly, calmly, peacefully, glowing brighter than ever. And the world, beneath her tender glow, slept a little more gently, dreamed a little more sweetly, and learned that even the moon needed a nap. Because even moons need quiet to shine. The end.